Hi everyone and welcome back. Time for another Project Pan update video. Just want to say I am filming this one a little bit in advance. With videos like this one, my Pan in Every Eyeshadow palette update and my empties, I like to film them as close to the day in which they're going to go up as possible, because that way it can be as up to date as it can possibly be. But with this one, I'm filming this on a Sunday and it's going up on a Thursday, and I'm just not able to film it closer to its upload day. However, saying that, my numbers for all of these items are still pretty good, so I don't think that's really affecting my usage. So what I will do, I will talk you through all of the items in my Project Pan. There are 19 products for me to update you on, so it might be a bit of a long video. I'll show you some progress pictures as well and just give you a rough idea as to how things are shaping up. So let's start off with an empty then. I only have one empty this month, but I am still happy that I have an empty because I didn't think that I would have any in this update. And this one has only been in my Project Pan for the past month. I thought this would take me 2 months, 3 max. Oh, I've got it open here. This is my NYX lip liner in the shade Global Citizen. I don't like this as a lip colour on me, but thought this would make for a really nice cream bronzer. So I took out my Vive Camel Eye Wand that I was using as my cream bronzer and replaced it with this. This was pretty like full when I put this into my Project Pan last month. This was like pretty much a full-sized lip liner, and I have gotten it down right to the bottom. I can't sharpen this anymore. I did think I could get maybe one more sharpening out of it, but I can't grip it. I asked my boyfriend to sharpen it, he couldn't do it either, so yeah, this is now an empty. This was a really nice colour as a cream bronzer, but in terms of using it in that way, it was quite tricky. What I did do with my eye wand was I basically just drew it on my face. I tried doing that with this, but this was really stubborn to blend out. It's quite creamy, so I thought it would blend out fine, but it was really stubborn. You could see all the marks of where I'd applied it, and then it would start to like flake off. So what I did do in the end, which is what contributed to me getting through it so quickly, is I just drew it on the back of my hand, took a brush, blended it in, and then like blotted it onto my face, and that worked so much better, and it looked a lot more natural as well. So that is why I have managed to use this up this month, because I was just applying a lot of it to the back of my hand. I was having to sharpen this every day, and it took me 13 uses this month to use it up. I used it up on the 18th of July, and now that I've used this up, it means that I have 5 lip liners in my collection, and I'm happy with all of them. I have something to cover all bases now, so really pleased with how my lip liner collection is looking. I am down to the exact items that I want. Okay, let's whiz you through all the rest of the items then. First up is my primer. This is the Vive Skin Nova that I have put into this Elemis cleansing tub. This was pretty full at the last update, and I'm really pleased with my progress with this. I think I could finish this up in the next month. If not, it might sneak into the month after, but this should be a 2 months maximum empty, but I do hope to use this one up by the next check-in. I've used it 21 times this month, so basically I've just used this every single time that I've worn makeup. I think it's a nice primer, but I don't think it's as amazing as lots of other people seem to find it. I don't feel like it's really affected the appearance of my skin or how my makeup applies over the top too much. The Bobbi Brown Face Base is still my favourite primer, but this is a nice one and so much easier to use now that I've taken it out of the pump bottle, which didn't want to work on me, and now I can just take it out of this tub. I have 2 foundations in my Project Pan. The first one is the Yves Saint Laurent Touche Eclat, which I have been using as my primary foundation because this is the one that runs out the soonest. This one settles really nicely, so I'm able to mark this quite well, and I've made some good progress with this. I will say, however, that the lines is with a Sharpie, and when I have been using this, obviously I've put my hand around it and I have sometimes accidentally wiped the line, so I've had to keep drawing the line in. But you can see that I have made some good progress with this. However, based on how this progress is going, this will take me until the end of the year. So, however, I have used it 16 times, so I have used it a really good amount of times, but I think it's the fact that I'm also trying to use another foundation as well. It's just slowing down the progress of this one ever so slightly. It is a really nice foundation. It gives a nice luminous effect on the skin, light to medium coverage, I would say. Good shade match for me as well. I'm in B20. And I put a pump of this on the back of my hand and then kind of like blot it onto my face using my ring finger, and then using a damp sponge I blend it out. And if I use a damp sponge, I can use the whole pump, whereas if I'm going to be using a brush, I don't need as much because the damp sponge shears it out a bit more. So that's a little tip. If you're trying to use up a foundation, apply it with a damp sponge. And then that second foundation is the Giorgio Armani Luminous Silk. I used this one 5 times the past month. I have it on today. I think I prefer this one over the Touche Eclat though. I feel like the effect is kind of similar. It's luminous, it's got some radiance in there, but I just think the overall effect, this one looks that bit more natural, I would say. This one is soon to be running out of date as well, but not quite as soon as the Touche Eclat, which is why this one I haven't used as often. I am trying to use this one like half as often as I do the Touche Eclat, so I am still using it, it's getting used up, but my aim is to use the Touche Eclat up first. I have no idea how much is left in this bottle though. I can't see through it even when I unscrew it, so I have absolutely no idea. I could weigh it, but that's not really how I track progress with my project pan, so I'm just going to keep using it until I can no longer pump out anymore. Next item I have made really good progress with. This is my powder. This is the Fenty Invisimatte Blotting Powder. I had a good pan in this already, but I'm pretty sure that this pan is a lot bigger than the starting picture. So much so that I'm now having to use like a small brush to basically go around the sides with it. And I feel like this pan is just getting bigger and bigger every time I'm using it. So this is really exciting. 2-3 months I would say, and this one should be used up. I use this when I put on my makeup, but also during the day as well. When I notice that I'm getting a bit shiny, I'll use the powder puff that comes with it and sort of like press it into my skin as well. So this is a product that I'm using a couple of times during the day, so getting through this really quite quickly and hoping to be done with this in the next 3 months I would say, and I've used it 21 times. Okay, next item I used 19 times. This is one of my 3 blushes that's in my project pan. This one is the Stila Lilium blusher. I had a pan on this in the last update, although you can't really see it because it's cream, so it just gets smeared. The pan is bigger in this one, and I'm using a lot more of this product now, because how I found best to apply it, instead of going straight from this onto my face, I'll take some on my finger, rub it into the back of my hand, and then I'll blend it in with the other liquid blusher that's in my project pan, get the brush, mix them in, and then apply it. And I find that that is much better. It's not so much a whack of pink on my face now, it's much more kind of toned down, more natural, and I much prefer how it looks, but it also means that I'm using more of this. However, with this one, I do think that this one will still be with me till the end of the year because there is still a good amount of product left in here. So that blusher that I mix in with Lilium is the Vive Sunset Blush Balm in Pesca. This is a liquid one. It's a squeezy applicator, so I squeeze it on top of the Lilium that I've blended into my hand and then mix them two together with a brush. So I've got a nice mix of a peach and pink blush. I've used this one 20 times and I still feel like there's a decent amount of product left in this. I'm not having to squeeze it from like right up here, I'm still squeezing it like from the bottom. And if I try and see where I am, oh actually, no, middle now, I'm squeezing from the middle, so I am getting there, but I think this one will also be another product that will be with me until the end of the year because I only need like a very small amount of this. The next one I was hoping to have hit pan on for this update, but sadly it has not happened. I hope it will be soon though because I've used this so many times. It's my oldest blusher. I've used it 21 times since the last update. It's Milani Luminoso. Not really sure what else I can say about this that I haven't said already, but the dome has really kind of gone down, so I can't be far off, surely not. But I just hope that it's soon. But powder blushes just take an absolute age to use up, but really hoping, fingers crossed, that I can get a pan in this for the next update. Next item I use 19 times, it's my liquid highlighter by Vive, this Skin Dew. I've got mine in the big 60ml tube. I have still only been able to use this as a face highlighter. The weather has been awful, it's not really been that warm, so I've not really been able to show more skin, and I've not been able to wear this, say, on my collarbone or on my shoulders, on my legs. I'm hoping when the weather gets warmer, which hopefully will be soon. We've not had a great summer so far. Then I can wear this one on my body and get this one used up a bit more. But at the rate I'm going now, despite using it 19 times since the last update, there is still loads of this left. Next is my powder highlighter from my Vive Face palette. I think the pan is bigger. However, it's getting a little bit tricky to pick up product because where the pan is so big, I'm having to kind of get it from the corners. But I've used this one 20 times since the last update. I've got it on today. Really nice to layer over the top of the liquid highlighter. Not chalky, not chunky or really glittery. It's just a nice light warm gold shimmer. A really lovely highlighter to use actually, and I'm not really a highlighter fan. And this one I would say another 3 months, and this one can be used up. Once I can no longer pick up much of this, I might start wearing it as an eyeshadow, and then that will help get it done. Another Vive product, I've got quite a few in my project pan. This is one of 2 eye ones that I've got in my project pan. This one is in the shade Sand, which is what I use as my eyeshadow base or an eyeshadow primer. It's not brilliant as an eyeshadow primer. I do notice that my eyeshadow creases on top, but it is a really nice colour. If I'm only layering this with one powder eyeshadow, I find that it lasts that bit better than if I was to go in with a few different powder eyeshadows. But it's just a really lovely, my sort of skin tone but slightly darker colour, so it's a great base for my skin tone. It doesn't look like I have much of this left. However, progress on these are really slow. I thought these would be a really quick item to get through, but they're not. They're taking ages. But I have used it 21 times, so I've used it a lot, and I'm not skimping on this. I do draw it a few times over each eye, so I am using a fair amount of this, although it's not translating into the progress pictures. So this one will be at least another 3 months, I would say. It wouldn't surprise me if it takes me until the end of the year to use this up. Okay, next on my list are 2 powder eyeshadows from my Urban Decay Naked Heat palette. I am working on using up both Ounce and Chaser, that second one in. So starting off with, actually both of them I've used 21 times actually. I don't think there's going to be as much of a difference in the photos with Ounce because I'm not taking any product from the pan. I'm basically taking it from around the very edges, so I don't think that that one will look any different. That one will probably take me until the end of the year to use up because I tend to just use it as like an inner corner highlighter. But again, like with the powder highlighter, once I get down to the very last bits, I might just use it as an all over lid shade and then it should be used up pretty quickly. Chaser, I think the pan on that has gotten a lot bigger, I hope. That one should take me a couple of months, I think, and it should be used up. It's getting a little bit tricky to pick up powder now because it's just built up on the very edges, very ends of the pan. And I'm using this to set that Viva Eye wand in Sand, so both of them I've used 21 times. I've used quite a lot, so they should both be empties by the end of the year. Next is one that I can't show you any progress pictures of because it is my liquid eyeliner, the Eyeko Black Magic Cocoa Edit liner. I've used it 17 times since the past update, and I do keep flicking from going, I'm going to keep it in my project pan until it's used up, to going, I'm fed up of wearing a liquid eyeliner, I'm going to get rid of it. So for this update it is staying. Can't guarantee that for the next one, but this is taking me all year to use up. It is a mini. I keep saying that there surely can't be much product left in this, but it doesn't seem to feel like it's drying up. And I have also said that if it is still with me by the end of the year, then I'm going to declutter it because I think this is like a year out of date, and it's a liquid product. It's a product that goes near my eyes, and I don't want to risk it past this year, but I hope to actually use it up, to use up all the product that is in this. But for now, it is still going strong. Next is my Kiko Brow product that I used 20 times. The very end of the pencil is all flat. This is quite an annoying applicator, I suppose, because when I pop this on, I don't push the lid on, but it still seems that the pencil reaches the very end of the lid and it just gets flattened, so that's quite annoying. In terms of progress, doing pretty well with this. I would say I've got another 3 months left of this though. I get through pencils, eyebrow pencils, way slower than I do like the retractable ones from like NYX Micro Brow. I can use up a full one of those in like 2 months, whereas with this it takes me a lot longer. So a few more months left of that one. And then I've got 2 red lipsticks. I put both of these in my project pan, not with the intent to completely use them up, because realistically, red lip isn't something I wear every single day, but these 2 are close to being out of date and I want to get them used that bit more. So I'm just kind of putting them in my project pan to get them used on a more regular basis. I haven't used them that often, to be honest. The first one I've only used 4 times, including today. It's the one that I have on at the moment. It's my MAC Velvet Blur Powder Kiss Slim Stick. It's a long title. Lipstick in the shade Sweet Cinnamon. You can see it is a warm red, but it's like a dark warm red. Very comfortable formulation, easy to apply, great pigment. Just an overall lovely lipstick and a really nice shade as well. Don't have too much progress on it when I've measured it on my sheet of paper, but there is some visible progress. Like with the next one, which I've only worn 3 times actually. This is Estee Lauder Persuasive. This is a lighter, brighter, warm, orange-based red. This is my go-to red lipstick though, so you can see just how much of it I have left. This is my go-to one. But this one is probably out of date, which is why I've included it in my project pan to just kind of get it used that bit more frequently. And these 2 I'll keep in my project pan until I get bored of them, perhaps. But I do want to keep them in my project pan ideally until the end of the year. Okay, just 2 more products left to go. Next is my Vive Lip Dew in the shade Pesca. This is a very light peach. I don't get too much of that peach effect on my lips though, but the formulation of these are so beautiful. They're so comfortable. I love that the doe foot is really quite big and chunky. It makes for easy application. They are a glossy lip oil, so they're not hugely sticky like a lip gloss would be. They do have quite a lot of hydration in there. No glitter in this, which I like. The original Vive Lip Dew has glitter, which I don't like. This one, they've gotten rid of that, which is good. This, I'm about halfway down the tube. I've used this one 23 times, but this is something that I can use multiple times throughout the day. I can keep reapplying this. And this one I reckon will be with me for another 2 or 3 months because, like I say, I can keep reapplying it, so it's a really easy product for me to get through. I can wear it on makeup days, non-makeup days, on its own, with other lip colours, so a really versatile product. And then my last item was one that I rolled into my project pan. I used up the NYX lip liner that I mentioned at the start of the video. So I've added back in my Vive Eye Wand in Camel to wear as my cream bronzer. Again, it doesn't look like I have much of this left, but progress on these, like I've said, is really slow. So this will be with me until the end of the year. This I much prefer in comparison to the lip pencil. This one I can draw on and blend out really easily, and it's a really lovely warm light brown colour. It's a great bronzer shade for me actually, and just really easy to use. But it's just a shame that despite using these eye wands quite a lot, the progress is just really slow. I've only used this one 8 times, but I did introduce it on the 19th of July, so in terms of usage it's not too bad. So that was this month's update. So I'm now down to 18 items in my project pan because of using up that lip liner. In terms of empties for next month, I'm hoping it will be my primer, my Vive Skin Nova. I think that will be the only empty though. However, hoping to hit pan on Luminoso, that would be brilliant. And also really interested as well to see how this powder, this pan in this powder gets even bigger, and also with those 2 eyeshadows as well. So hoping for 1 empty and some really good visible progress on a few of the other items in my project pan. So thank you so much for watching. Hope you enjoyed it. Hope it was interesting. If you've got a project pan going, please let me know how the progress is going on yours. If you did like it, please do give it a thumbs up, and I will see you again very soon for my next one. Bye.